still pending. Let's see.
Yeah, it's preparing. Now.
It's warming up the cloud, right?
Yeah. Maybe everybody could write in chat from where they are joining, so we know.
Yeah, let's start with our tradition. Just put in the chat name of your location and your country, maybe.
Yeah. Jakarta, Indonesia, India, Nigeria, Germany, Pune, India, Lima, Peru, Houston, USA. Let me open it because I lost track. Singapore, Wisconsin, USA, Netherlands, Indonesia, India, Florida, USA, UK, London, Vigesh, India, Singapore. They're pretty international. Indonesia, Thailand, Mexico, London, Sweden, UK, London. Fausto, hi. He's
Aaron, how are you going to, if let's say that they want to do a quick lab walkthrough and it comes from this list, this one here, how are you, can you build a quick list of these labs to vote on? There's a whole bunch of them. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we are not sure what you mean exactly.
So I'm saying at this 10:30 thing, or people are going to vote, do you want, like, let's say, do you want to go through the flashcards? Do you want to go through a independent quick labs, or do you want to go through a quick lab walkthrough, yada, yada, yada? If they say a quick lab walkthrough, or, you know, that's this, then you have to pick which quick lab they want us to walk them through, and it comes from this list, which
we can
is
choose one that is suggested for the exam. So you have the path for the exam. We can use that one. So
right. That's what I'm saying. And so everyone that's in bold here is an official from the ACE study guide from this link here.
I will show you which one is recommended for ACE. You should have one path.
That's what I'm showing you right here. This is the Associate Cloud Engineer. Let me see. Click here. If you click this link and Control V it,
it should open directly. You should not have to copy and paste.
I'm in incognito, yada, yada, yada. So where is the labs at? This is the exam, and then someplace there is a link saying these are the labs, and those labs are what's in that list. I don't see where their list is right now, though.
It should be in step 1, get the real world experience, GCP. Oh no, this is the free tier.
That's the free tier. That's the exam guide.
Try to the practice exam. This is the exam. Round out your skills.
Oh, here they are. These are the quest. So those, like the baseline infrastructure.
The architecting, complete your curriculum.
So like
compute engine.
So this baseline architecture, every baseline infrastructure, everything in there has been pulled out, and the ones that are in bold came from that quest line. just to make sure that I'm looking at it. They say baseline infrastructure here. Yeah.
I can tell you quickly. I can look in my. Give me just 1 second. 1 second. My computer is frozen.
So we still have people joining like every second almost, and we will start just in 1 minute with our official session. Yeah.
What is the typical amount of participants normally?
With you, it's above 100, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have 66 right now.
Yeah.
67.
Yeah.
So we need to wait a couple of minutes.
I think we will just start right now. After Linda, you were searching something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we will start afterwards. And
so I have a couple of seconds to hold my tea.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Visit some interesting place or anything, you know.
I see Adrian Rodriguez. Is that Adrian that I know without a beard, but now he's got a beard?
It is, John.
Okay. Wow. You look completely
I saw
different.
Corina.
Yeah, time has gone by. It was still in March, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow, rock and roll.
Corina.
And there's Vlad. I remember him from last
Hey,
time.
Linda. Hey, Karen. Hey, John.
Corina is here with us. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Hi,
Good.
Corina. Google is with us. That's great.
Thanks
Hey,
for
Corina.
having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, Google.
Thanks for joining us. Daniel is here. Hey, Daniel.
How are you guys? Folks.
Everything is fine, Daniel.
I saw another guy from my team, Fausto. Hi, Fausto. These things are so small, you can barely read who is in.
Yeah. Okay, so should we start?
Let's give it till 10:10. We got like 2
Okay.
minutes.
Okay, great.
Maybe paste the link into the chat so people can open the same deck.
I think it's just one page, right, John? One slide.
Yeah. It's on.
Yeah, it's this slide. Yeah.
But
Yep.
maybe because of the links, maybe somebody want to click the links, you know, not to type it. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Let me get him a URL real quick. I got people messaging me.
So we have from Florida, USA, London, UK, India, Singapore, Mexico, Thailand, Indonesia, California, London, Sweden, London, Singapore, Philadelphia, USA, Peru, Philippines, Atlanta, GA. What means GA? Guys, I don't like the acronyms. I don't know.
Google
like-
Analytics.
Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, thank you. I'm not good at geography, I'm sorry. Argentina, Atlanta, Georgia, okay. Helps.
And John,
So
John, if you can you share the link to your slide
Yep. Let
in the
me
chat? That would be great.
see
GA
how I
should be
can
again.
get 1 second. I'm trying to get.
Sure.
I tell people to join early, and I'm trying to get this guy in here.
I guess they change a little bit the things here for associate cloud engineer, because when I did myself was only 2 paths. Now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands-on quick labs. There are things that changed around. So we could do, if you want, John, the cloud engineering. That one I know for sure. I did it myself to prepare for the ACE exam, and gives you a good
Okay.
overview.
Give me 1
You know.
second.
It's the second one in your list.
That's the one you wanted posted?
No, it's only a suggestion. We can do whatever works for you. But
Hold a second. Someone asked to post this thing here. That got posted in chat. Which is the other one they want posted?
No, I think. Oh, yeah. You just posted this slide deck, right? From what you're sharing right now. That's great. I think that's great. We have the link.
What's the second thing that you want posted?
That's pretty much it. I don't know. I haven't asked anything other than that.
All right. Well, it's 10:10. You're on.
Okay. So let me maybe start. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this study group for 2 Google Cloud certifications. My name is Karen. I'm representing here GDG Cloud Nuremberg. It's a Google Cloud kind of targeted group here in Nuremberg, Germany. We also have other folks, other organizers. Maybe let's give a word to Linda to represent her group.
hi, my name is Linda Kovacs, and here in the call with us, it's Ivan Fausto from our GDG Capital Region in US. GDG. In the morning, I'm not so active.
Yeah,
I give the word to somebody else who is more awake than me.
John, can you represent your group maybe?
Yeah, so I'm John Davis, and I lucked up by meeting Karen and Linda. So each week I do a weekly study session in Raleigh, and started doing some things with Karen and Linda. We got a lot more visibility, and what we decided to do was to take my weekly study session, and that's kind of like general purpose, to make it more focused on the ACE exam, so that we all have something that we can work together to become associate cloud engineer certified, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Daniel?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I represent Serverless Toronto user group. We are cloud agnostic friends from North. And you cannot go cloud native with serverless if you don't go into cloud. So we spent, like most of us here, working with Amazon Cloud over the years, but my current client is not using it, and I have to get into GCP, and excited and glad to have met you and helping here. So look forward to certifying and helping you certify.
Yeah, that's great. And we have today also Karina from Google with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say a couple of words about yourself?
Sure. Hey, everyone. Bright and early here in San Francisco, California. Welcome to the study group. Congrats to the team from GDG Capital Region, GDG Cloud Nuremberg, and also GDG Cloud RGP for putting this on. It's really great to see everyone, all corners of the world together to work towards this ACE certification exam. So looking forward to it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we have this slide right now, which being produced by John, and it's our agenda here. We will just start. We have definitely people here who are new to this kind of meetings. So for them, I will give a very short introduction here, that right now it is possible to attend these exams from the comfort of your home. Usually you have to go to a certification center near you, and in a very strict environment, kind of attend these exams. Now, because of the Corona crisis, you have this opportunity to do it from home in a very much like relaxed, chilled environment. You have to, they will really take care that you have very clean desk and everything is like correct. They will be monitoring you during the exam, but it's still, I think, better than to go at some kind of certification center or training center. So this is one reason why it makes sense right now to attempt these exams. The second reason, this is like really a serious thing. It's very demanding. You have to have knowledge to pass it actually, and it's even recommended to have some hands-on experience. If you need some hands-on experience, we can also provide you a platform to train yourself and your skills with quick labs, for example. We run them also almost every week. We have so-called cloud study jams. We do them like for the last months at least, also jointly. We have like hundreds and hundreds of people involved there all over the world. So if you are interested in something like this, check your group how you joined this event. You probably joined it through some group, one of our groups, and check just the events, and you will definitely find within the next couple of weeks this kind of things, cloud study jams. We also offer this platform to prepare not only, so basically for 2 exams. One exam is the basic one, it's an associate level exam, Associate Cloud Engineer. And another exam would be Professional Cloud Architect, PCA. And we have people who want to go like straight to the professional path, so they are also welcome here. For the ACE exam, Associate Cloud Engineer, there is right now a campaign going on where you can get 30% discount on your exam fees. What's real nice, it's not very typical that you will get some kind of discounts on Google Cloud certifications. But to get it, you have to go through one Quick Labs quest, which is, we have links there. I can share it also with you in the chat. I think it's in the description of this event in every group, but I will share it here as well in the chat. So if you are living in the Western world, like in Western Europe or in the United States, in this kind of rich countries, you know, it's a nice opportunity to get your discount using, I just posted the link in the chat. You have to complete quest, Quick Labs quest, and it's for free, and you will get within the next business days. I think it's like something like 3 to 5 business days. If you don't get it in this time, ask Quick Labs for like make a support request. They will provide it, like they will take care of it. If you're living in the countries which are not as rich as Western Europe and USA, for example, you can try always to ask them what's the actual price for your region, because we got a lot of information from people, for example, in India, but also in Vietnam, for example. Somebody told me that in Vietnam, the exam fee is just usual, regular fee is $70. So it's not as high as in developed kind of countries. I use this silly language. I don't know what the right terms right now to use for this kind of designations, but bear with me. Yeah, so if you living in some countries which are not as rich, always go and ask them first what's the actual price. Maybe I can get some kind of discount, and in most of the cases you will get something, like it will be cheaper than the prices which are regularly displayed for the Western world. So there is right now, as of my information, there are no discounts right now for the professional cloud architect, this professional level exam. But Linda, can you add some information about the Google Cloud Next, which will be coming this year in September, August and September,
July.
if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
So this year, as you know, Google moved the Cloud Next online, and it will be a 9 weeks workshop, which I assume all of you, if you are preparing for the ACE exam, you should be there. We will play, all of us as GDGs will place an event holder in our meetup, so you can go to your SPV and you will have all the information, and even a demographic for Google to see that our communities are participating in Google Cloud Next. So you will get a chance to ask your questions to Cloud Next. You'll get a chance to get trained to do quick labs. There might be offers. Usually Google, when they have these big events, they have some offerings. I don't know if this year will be the same, but I really hope that there will be, even for the exam, if they will have any coupons or any discounts. So let's keep an eye on it, because it's starting in July 14th and it's finishing by September 14th. I don't remember, or September 8th, something like that. So all of you should be there and start learning, and weekends when we meet, we can discuss what we learned during the week.
Yeah. So to summarize it, if you want to go for professional level certification and you have a little bit of time, you're not desperate to do it right now, wait until the middle of July, until the Google Cloud Next will start. It's a virtual version. Everyone can attend. It's free. And we will be announcing it within our 3 groups here. Or I don't know, Cloud Serverless Toronto maybe will also join, maybe not. But this is a great opportunity because they used to always, I think, offer this kind of discounts on the certification during this event. So my suspicion, I suspect that it will be similar this time. I don't know, Karina, do you have any more information, like officially what will be going on there? Can you add anything here?
The learning team's actually working on putting together potentially some prizes for these type of events. So stay tuned for more information on that. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds promising. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. What I want to say to all newbies who just joined us for the first time. If you will have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask here in the chat. We actually, I have to mention it, we have a Slack channel from GDG Cloud Nuremberg. It's a huge one. We have a lot of people there, and we have dedicated 2 channels for these exams. Maybe somebody could post the link to, if you are not yet there and you want to stay up to date what's going on with the preparation to these exams, it makes sense for you to join this Slack. I will post the link right now in the chat.
I just posted it.
Okay, great. Let me post it a second time. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all the beginners. If you have any questions whatsoever, ask, you will get your answer. Now, John, I will give the word to you to introduce our guests for today.
Yeah, so the co-host of GDG Cloud RTP and the people that provide the meeting space for the meetup or users group that I do is Karen and Jim from Greenstream. And so their mic is muted, but I'm going to give them just a few minutes to talk about this camera project.
Thank you very much, John. Can everybody hear me? Is my audio okay?
Yes.
All right. And thank you for this brief aside. We appreciate it. So Jim Gray and I, we are co-founders of Greenstream Technologies. We are a small environmental IoT startup, and we're located in North Carolina, along with John Davis. And we are working to build resilience in communities that are vulnerable from flooding to storms and hurricanes and sea level rise. And we are also beginning to monitor high-risk dams. Our region is extremely vulnerable to hurricanes, and it floods almost every 7 days where we live. And we know that there are a lot of flooding problems in Europe and in Asian communities as well.
Can I ask a question? Are you sharing by any chance any slides or something, just to make sure?
Oh, I didn't prepare slides.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Linda. So our approach to monitoring flooding in real time and reporting it so that, emergency responders can take action and maybe eventually tie in with, traffic applications and things like that, so people can stay out of flooding and stop, losing their cars or drowning in floodwater. Our approach has been awarded a Social Innovation Prize from MIT's Solve initiative. And I've been featured also in the United Nations She Innovates project as a female founder. So we are a co-host along with John of the Google Developers Group, and we were hosting the meetings in our office until the pandemic hit. Last year, to learn more about TensorFlow, the local members of GDG here in North Carolina participated in a hands-on hackathon, and we were using our water level sensor data alongside with government sensor data to analyze flood statistics. And now this year, we have been donated a smart surveillance camera through a local nonprofit. And we would like to contribute the camera and our own sensors and telemetry system to the group. Our town here in North Carolina is very willing to host the camera and sensors in local parks or waterways that's owned by the town. And they're very enthusiastic about test projects, so they're willing to support us. So our invitation is, if you are interested in real-world applications and experience, to contact us about this camera vision project. Obviously, we are interested. We're most interested in learning what we can about combining water level sensor data and camera data. That would be our primary interest. Can the sensors teach the camera to recognize flooding? But other ideas, if we are installing a camera, for example, on a footbridge in a park, the cameras could be used for counting people or animals like coyotes moving through the parks on hiking trails. Or we could use the camera for maybe monitoring social distancing for the pandemic, which is still a big problem in the United States, especially in our area. A lot of people are not complying, and we have still rising levels of COVID-19. We could, if we had the camera in place like that, we could consider a number of projects from one smart camera. We're just wondering if anyone in the group is interested in working on this to get some real world experience. And if you are, we will be posting our information in the Slack group so you can get in contact with us. Thank you very much. I turn the meeting back over to the other Karen. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Back to Karen. Okay, great. So it was an interesting introduction, and in our groups, we are connecting people to study together, to attend exams, and become better professionals, But there are actually projects in the world going on, very interesting ones, which are using these high-tech technologies like IoT, cloud computing, whatever. So if you want to gain some experience, to get involved in a worldwide project, some environmental ones for good purpose and good cause, we can also provide this kind of platform for you. It was just an example, and thank you very much to Jim and Karen for giving this interesting introduction. If you have any interest, get in touch with us on Slack, and we will connect you guys. Okay, John, I think we can get back to you to our agenda.
All right. Yeah, I feel like I'm at the on the news here, and now back to John. All right. So at 10:30 or 10:20, we're going to try and do this quiz and solution discussion. So this is a simple quiz. I think that I'm going to share the. I'm going to get ready. Launch waiting screen is ready. I'm going to go to it. And maybe I ought to do the present now to show the tab. Okay, and it is this one. So once this thing gets up to 50, we've got 90 people, incredible, in this meeting. Then we can only do 50 at a time. We'll start this quiz and we'll go from there. If you think this thing is the audio cut off?
John, just a question. Do you have some kind of URL which we can open to proceed with this quiz, or how it works?
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
I just posted it in chat for everybody.
So
did you post it?
Yeah.
I just realized I was talking, but the headset wasn't working because I saw you and I couldn't hear anything.
We heard everything you said, so it's okay.
It should.
So
It should.
like
Yeah.
First 50 people, like the lucky ones, grab this URL and you can open the quiz and go through it. These are questions which are very similar to the exam questions, not exactly the same, for the ACE exam. And we will have a summary after everyone is completed with the quest. We will discuss the results here.
I think last time we got to get more people. They say 50, but last time, do you remember, we was up to 75 or something like that.
Yeah. Let's try to stress test this quiz tool.
Yep. Basically, this quiz, the first week we just I wrote down quiz questions based upon the Udemy class that is Google was giving out for a free intro, and that's kind of like the official study guide from Google, and the author has a class. So we were using that and pulled the questions kind of as you're watching it. Then the second week, it was the quiz questions that people kind of did poorly on the first time with some new ones. This third week is the same thing. Some of these questions came from the very beginning of the first week, and some of them are new. Because we're trying to make this more entertaining, there's a little bit more questions, so this will fill up more time. And if you were here for the first 2 weeks, we're going to go through them, and we'll there's no winner to it. You're just trying to see what you don't know, and then we'll talk about the solution, and you got an idea of maybe questions that are created by us, and it's not created from someone else, and it has some bearing on the ACE exam based upon the training material that we've chosen to use. So we've hit
We just
50,
reached 50. Let's see if it goes further.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, I told you
One.
they cannot count it good. We went more last time.
All right. So how much bigger do you want to try to get it to?
Oh yeah, I think people can still join it. Like it goes more than 50, what is really nice. So let's give maybe another minute. So if you want to go through this quiz with us for the next 10 minutes, please find the link in the chat, open it in a separate tab or browser or whatever you want, and we will start very soon.
Yep.
Okay.
Pre-posts.
Yes.
Darren, I'll let you decide when we start it.
Yeah, I think we have how many people?
55.
Yeah. So I saw 2 people more joining just within the last couple of seconds. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Laverne.
Yeah, hi. You will find the link to a quiz, which we will go through right now. I'm just posting it right now here, myquiz.org, blah, blah. So you can open it in a separate tab, and if you want, you can go and test your knowledge for this ACE test or exam. Yeah, I think somebody just joined because we have 57 right now. So all the other 40 lazy people in the call, just kidding. You can.
They just took the certificate, the other 40 took the certificate.
Yeah, maybe they all passed, but then don't stay so silent. Just share your experience with us. Yeah.
Karen, I was going to say, I took it off of...
Yeah.
Sorry. I took it off of the share because once we hit start, I think it's going to show the answers on this screen.
Okay. Makes sense, yeah. Good for you, but not very good for us.
Yeah. If it doesn't, what I'll do is I'll switch back to this screen, but I can't remember.
So one thing I want to address during these tests, if somebody will be speaking in the call, it will probably disturb you. So maybe just turn off the sound for the next 10 minutes or so. Yeah, it would make sense. Otherwise, you will be confused. Okay, I think, John, we can start.
3, 2, 1, it's starting. It doesn't show. Very good. So I'll just share this tab.
Hurry up.
This is a question from week 1 and week 2. And we got over 50. Good.
Wow.
If you don't see it, take a moment when you look at the answer. I've tried to put like a guide to kind of explain their reasoning. And usually there's like a mnemonic to help you remember it.
I think the time is not so fair. You don't have enough time to read the question.
The edit mechanism on this quiz is kind of difficult for putting the answers because it's a small text box that you can't resize. Once again, like we said that first week, we ought to, as a group, have a project to build one of these apps, you know? All right, everybody got that? That's good. That's from week 1 as well. A lot of these at the beginning are going to be from all the way from back at week 1.
You know what I don't like about this tool? Once you clicked one of the options, you cannot change it anymore.
Yeah.
Agree. That's annoying.
Yeah, we can fix it in our future project, John.
Exactly. The best way to learn is by doing. You know, that's my belief.
We have like 64 people.
For that one, we only got we got less than 40%. Got that one right. So it'll definitely be one to do.
I hope they will not charge us afterwards.
I think it's the free tier. We are up to 95 people on the call, guys. That's nice. 67 on the quiz, 67 people participating. Nice.
It's interesting how there's like some mark down there. Did you see like note was in green on the answer?
Guys, I fear GDG Cloud Nuremberg will win this one. Because I see in the leaders 3 of our guys, I think even 4 or 5. Like we took it like the whole quest.
You're not bashful, huh?
But please do not check the versus
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
because GDG will be also on the bottom
Yeah.
because of me.
We are well spread across the whole range, yeah.
That's poor grammar on my part for this question, but I pulled out this thing from my card as a new question, and then I had to study it in order to write the answer, and then going through it, yada, yada, yada. We got 21% on that one. That one we'll talk about.
How many questions so far? 12 out of 90 now, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost as in the real exam, right?
Not really.
I try to make them so like once you do one, it kind of helps you do the next ones to try and help you learn it. And as we talk about it, maybe it'll help it even more when we get through. And you guys can help me based upon your knowledge of these components versus mine. So I look forward to getting your input there. Feel free to get on the mic. I encourage you to get on mic and tell me what you think.
97 on the call. Another 3, please join. Make 100.
Adrian, if you're on the mic, do you use Apache Beam over there in your work?
I haven't used it too much. No, I haven't.
Okay. I got an email from that Jean-Luc Parod, I can't remember his name, the guy that wrote the book on Spark. He sent out a RTP Spark thing today. And I've talked to him about joining the meetup. Like, he could really help on these things. He wrote the, what is it? What's that book called? Where is it?
What is the name of the person?
It's John. He's the French guy. John. I can't find it. John. Let me look at my email. John George Perrin. This guy here. That's how you spell his name. He's a pretty good guy. He has a somewhat infrequent meetup, and this guy here, and he wrote can't remember what book he wrote, the name of it, but it's from like Manning, that is the publisher. I don't see it.
Let's see the quiz.
Okay.
How we are doing to the quiz?
Yeah, stay on topic, John. Stay on topic.
Another 2 questions. Does it give you at the end like the classification, how everybody did?
Yeah.
You have it, the letters. Yeah, you have it there.
Yeah, and that's how I go back. And so here's another thing I learned with this tool. You can actually just duplicate the quiz versus between week 1 and week 2, I was like having to type it in manually, right?
Yeah.
But when you delete them, it's kind of difficult to delete them. So I basically just go in reverse order. So if number 15 is a good one and number 16 through 20 aren't, I just like delete 20 through 16.
Yeah.
And then yada yada yada.
Last question.
Yeah, I threw one in there at the end. I was like, we got to have a new CLI command. You can see I didn't even put in enough bad answers.
Mm-hmm. The maximum that you have as an option is 19 questions, or you just choose 19 questions?
When I picked out 5 new cards, and based upon the 5 new cards, that was what I put in. And I was like, we got to get at least one of them as a CLI. So I just went through. It's like, I'll just do a CLI question. So,
congratulations to the winners. Look there.
Yep. Very good. And let me see.
Can you show it a little bit better so we can see the number, the people who won?
Yeah, I can go back to archive.
Yeah. So the first 10 you can see, right? Okay.
Yeah. And then, congratulations. These are and what it'll look like this. So I guess I should, rather than write these numbers down because everybody has missed some, let me just go through them again from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we'll just talk about it as we go. So once again, I don't have the graphic for this, but the mnemonic here is just remember on-premise is the one that's the most requires the most customization by the end user, and that's on-premise. And then it's just IPS. Kind of think of like IP, right? IPS is pretty simple. Infrastructure, it's the next level of the customer, does everything. PaaS is similar. SaaS. And by the way, I saw recently another acronym for this, or for SaaS. Does anybody know that? It's like FaaS or something.
Yes, it's a function as a service. So cloud functions are nothing but called as a functions as a service because they help us to provide they help us to write just the functions and put your code inside those functions and run it as a function as a service.
So Supriya is, from memory, it would be like that, F/S.
I will say it is a part of SaaS. So I don't know whether there are other. So you can consider it as a part of SaaS, inside software as a service.
Do we have different opinions from anyone in the call? How to allocate this?
I would say that function is the next on top of the software. I mean, if in this sequence, infrastructure, platform, software, maybe after the software comes the function. It's just my suggestion.
Any other ideas?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't hear everything. I think FAS goes on top of SAS. If that's what.
Here you go. Well, all I was saying is I've heard that there is another one, and right here is a good one. So this is good right here. You've got IaaS, which you've already talked about. They've got this container platform, which is CaaS. We should put that in. We should add this to it. You've got the PaaS now, and then we've already talked about that. And they've got FaaS to the left of SAS. So this link here, I should put as a to-do to update this question and do it again.
Okay, so it's all good. Like historically, FAS came after SAS because it functions as a service. That's kind of how serverless began. But SAS is more comprehensive. It's like Salesforce. It gives you dashboards, consoles to do the job end to end. Plus, it gives you APIs, like so. So either way you put them, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it on the same level with SAS, answering to Supriya, because SaaS is a finite product. What you actually build for your customers, it's facing towards the customers. While function as a service is a function platform where you can insert your code to achieve something, to produce something. So it's, I think the allocation in between the platform, or maybe it's logically more belonging to the platform. It's a kind of different platform to execute your use cases, you know. But SaaS, in my mind, it's something what is like finite, what you provide to your customers, your application, what you build. It's basically on the very top already.
I agree. And SaaS is now, everything's now kind of 50 shades of gray. You have like SaaS platforms offering services, like APIs and functions. And so it's more comprehensive. There is a user-facing component in SaaS. But
so SaaS is like a fully grown service where you actually, in the end, consume it. What you can take care of on this is the roles, the permission. But when you think about function as a service, then as you said, Karen, we will have to deploy our own code to achieve something. So SaaS, Salesforce, Gmail, Office 365, these are examples of SaaS, full grown service, which we consume.
Yeah. And let's look at the dependencies, because there are some kind of constraints with function as a service. You cannot run any code. You have to look into what kind of programming language they actually support, because as far as I know, every function as a service provider, it only supports some finite amount of languages or number of languages. So it's more, to me, it's more like a PaaS, actually. It's a platform, you know. Something maybe in between, but it's closer to PaaS in my mind.
It is indeed. I mean, till the time these terms like function as a service or DB as a service came in, people broadly categorize them as part of a PaaS.
Okay, so we clarified this one. What's nice.
This was the same thing, but it was asking for what was the platform example. So I'm just going to leave this one the same. Where in the console where you see the recent events or changes, that's the activities list. And do I have there this tab? I'm not sure how well people did. I'll look at it. The activities list, if I go back to the home page, there's not going to be much activity in this project. But this page here, that question came from the ACE Udemy class. They demonstrated that pretty early on. I never really used this before. It's pretty good. I'm like lag really, really bad. Did that screen update to show the activities list in GCP? Are you guys seeing it? Is my mic working?
Everything is working.
Yeah, it updated.
Hello? Working?
There's
Yeah, I
something
can hear
loading
you.
right now.
Okay. All right. Is it showing the cloud platform screen?
It
Yep.
It is.
yeah.
Yes, it is. It is.
Were
Activity
you able to
tab.
hear me say this is the activity from GCP?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My box is like, it's like dying. Go back. Clear this tab. That came from the question there, so I guess you guys heard me. What are the NoSQL databases? The correct answer there: Bigtable Data Store, Firestore. The only thing here, we mentioned this last week, it's, to me, I find it a little confusing, but there's going to be some more on this later. And that is, if you look at this tab, and you go down to, I haven't scrolled past it. You see, you've got Data Store as a top level, and you've got Firestore as a top level. Data Store is the old original, Firestore is the new one. But when you go like here, close some tabs that are open. Help. You have like native mode data store. You have native mode and data store mode of data store, and then you got 4 items there. And at the top level, if you go to Firestore, it looks very similar, but I think you'll have only 2 in the left-hand tab over here.
John, in 2 minutes, we have the Pro Architect.
All right. All right. And then just going from there, commands granted to a resource. We've done that's literally, once again, you're going to have like the gcloud command, the thing that you're going to do, the component, which is this case IAM. You're going to have the verb. In this case, it's list grantable roles, and then whatever the resource associated with that verb, which is a valid command. It's the same kind of thing. Gcloud component, your verb, your resource.
John, you still have, sorry, John, you still have this Cloud Console or cockpit of Google Cloud.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry about
thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Using command line, how to show the specify the project ID. Typically, they don't use equals unless it's like with a dash in front of it. So that's one clue there. Once again, gcloud, your component, your verb, and your resource, and all. There's a lot of gcloud config set type items, and you don't have an equals. You don't have an equals unless you'll have like dash dash in front of it. VPC networking, kind of think of, if you think of compute stuff as in regions and zones, think of regions and subnets when you think of VPCs, yada, yada, yada. VPCs don't span regions unless you have a VPN. Unstructured data.
John, here VPCs are global.
So
subnets, they are region specific. They're zonal.
Right, but
so
they don't span multiple regions, right? A VPC, it's specific to a one global region, not multi-region.
I think they are available across regions.
Yeah, it's global, so it's across all the regions, John.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to convey there is that if you go to VPCs, I can pick a global region, but I can't pick like 2 global regions. In order to have them being
global contains all the regions. So you have, it's normal. Global is like the globe, you have all the countries, no?
Yeah.
So global, it's only one because it's containing all the regions inside.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think I'm being clear. So like if I can pick a region, like I can say I wanted an Asia East 2, or I can say US East 1. That is but it's not like a US East / Asia 1. It doesn't span the regions. Does that make sense?
What you're picking up is a subnet.
The
VPC can have
subnet
multiple
is
subnets and multiple
particular
regions.
zone. I'm just looking there, right? Up here, I don't see a region, right?
Yep.
You tie in those guys via, this is regional. This requires a VPN.
because it's global, you cannot find any region. So it means doesn't matter which region, it's all over the world. So it contains all the regions. That's why it's global.
Right, and then you do these with VPNs. Is that correct? And that's what I was trying to convey. But
yes,
anyway, we can update it. Let me press on. Where is this thing? Unstructured data. That's cloud storage. Kind of like what they talk about. The buckets is a primitive in cloud storage, not the microservice. We talked about this group action. Got that bit there. The data transformation stuff here. It's this thing. I mean, there's actual labs where you'll go down and you'll use Compute Engine with Apache Beam, but it's so much easier using the other tools. I think one of these may have oh yeah, here. So I can give you a copy of this. I can print it as a PDF. Just some tips. Data prep is kind of like Excel. You can convert the different columns. Basically looks like an Excel spreadsheet, and you can get the results within the spreadsheet. Use a UI, it's pretty simple. Data proc, Spark kind of comes to mind. You have P's and O's in it. It's Hadoop based. You've got an R for R is in it. SQL runs in Spark. Yada yada. Data flow, I kind of think of as F. There's 4 languages you can use with it: flowing, streaming, beam, stream. Streaming data and batch data, Apache Beam. Those kind of things come to mind. There are some other links there. I've got them up here if you want to look at it more. Which ETL supports batch and streaming. Everybody did real good on that. That's Apache Beam. Interactive is Spark. What languages are Apache Beam data flow? So flow is Java, Python, Go, and Scala. There's just 4 languages. If you're going to throw in R or SQL, you got to go to the Hadoop-based stuff, which is Spark. What programming language? So this is the other one, and there you've got the SQL and R in there. I think Cinco, Spanish. There's a POC in there. Spanish SP proc has data proc, Spark has SP. Firestore versus data store. Firestore is data store, but in native mode it has real-time capabilities. There's a link there you can look at. Roles, permissions, and hierarchies. It's PRI. Permissions are assigned to roles. Roles are assigned to an identity. PRI, primary key, maybe you think PRI, IAM. What sources can be used to create tables in BigQuery? So let's see. Yep, this is your storage. You can use Google Cloud Storage. You can upload a CVS file, a TSV file. I think they also have. You can use file spreadsheets in Google Drive. You can use Bigtable, and you can manually enter data. Minimal command. And this is the last one. This is, once again, it's the same kind of thing. Gcloud compute instance create. So Gcloud component verb. That's that.
Okay. So we are done with the quiz, right, John?
Yep.
Yeah. People are asking in the chat, how is it possible to get text?
Hi, Karen.
Quiz?
Hi, team. Actually, I have one question regarding Bigquery. Because we can create a table from Drive also, Google Drive.
Yeah. I think I had that in there. It said Google Drive, upload, manual, Bigtable.
Yeah. So question. Actually, where can we see the answers? I don't see the answers.
Just email me, and I will, or talk to me in Slack. Here's my email, and I will print out a PDF and I'll send it to you.
Maybe you can post in Slack the PDF, John, so everybody can have access instead of sending emails back and forth.
Okay, very good.
You know,
Yeah, that would be better.
In our prep for exam channel.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that right now.
Thank
you. Okay. So should we have a short discussion about how we want to run for the rest of the time? What do you guys in the call would prefer? What kind of mode? We had one opinion before. It was like initial one, to go through quick labs, probably at everyone's own pace. So everyone would just go on their own, but will ask in the call if there are some questions. And the second option was we would go through flashcards jointly, and we will discuss the questions and the right answers. But we will be like synchronized. We will do it together. Are there any other suggestions or ideas how we can proceed with this kind of study groups? Please speak.
Karen, I think quick labs means everybody, if we will go together, it will take a lot of time. So for quick labs, we anyway have some different sessions wherein we can cover the practical knowledge. But here, as part of this session, what I think is we can go ahead with such approach which we are going with, like start with quiz, and then go with some flashcards and the discussions for the questions which we are getting. I think this is the great approach, because quick labs will everybody to get on the same road. That is really difficult.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we can go through the flashcards and we can discuss what different scenarios are. Maybe we get one answer through the flashcard, but if there is something, if we take it as a quiz, we can discuss and deliberate why the other options are not accurate or why they are different. So I think a flashcard approach would be much better, so that more people can join it and can understand all the concepts which are there.
Yes, and I said in this question, there was one more option, like Google Drive also. So means while discussing, we can contribute our own thoughts also. Means everybody can contribute as per their knowledge.
Actually, even in Slack, when I launched the question, most of people, there was 24 out over 9 votes for the flashcards. So I guess the final decision will be the flashcards.
Yeah, I also voted for the same.
And I posted here in chat the link to the answers for the quiz that John posted in Slack, so you can go if you didn't see it yet, you can go to check it out.
Okay, let's just have 2 minutes break right now, and I want to address, because we have 11 past whatever in your time zone. We still have 50 minutes left, and it's supposed to be the professional section right now. As a kind of segue to this professional section, let me tell one thing. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had this author of all official Google Cloud certification books, Dan Sullivan, and he gave a lot of interesting tips on how to study for and prepare for the associate level exams and also the professional level exams. If you haven't seen this video, you should watch it. It's like 2 hours plus. And you can find it on our YouTube channel. So basically every GDG Cloud or GDG General chapter from these ones which are hosting it right now, we got our own YouTube channels, and I think you can find it there. Otherwise, please post, our friends would post it in the chat as well, direct link. In our GDG Nuremberg Cloud YouTube channel, you will find a shorter version without introduction of sponsors and everything. It's 2 hours 20 minutes, I think. On Linda's channel and GDG Capital Region channel, you will find a longer version with some kind of introductions and outro, whatever. It's 3 hours, about 3 hours, the longer version. The shorter version has all the interesting insights, everything what Dan spoke is actually also on the short version as well. So you have to watch it. And one thing he mentioned is this kind of the whole interview, that the difference between these two exam levels. He said that the professional level exam is more targeted towards real life scenarios whenever you deal with customers. Like, for example, this cloud architect, professional cloud architect. It is how you build different kinds of architectures, like in real life, with real applications. It's not very much like checking your general knowledge of Google Cloud. It is also part of it. With associate, I think he said there is really a lot of questions, or it's important to know all the Google G Cloud commands, how to analyze them, what would be the right answer. Like, they're heavy on this command line commands. This is one of the differences. Yeah. Another question which was addressed there: if my target finite goal is professional level certification, should I do this associate in between? The answer was, if you just only want to get your professional architect or whatever, there are different kinds of professional certifications. Maybe, and you have experience in your field, maybe you are just coming from the AWS world, maybe it just makes sense to go straight to the professional certification on the Google Cloud. It's not a prerequisite for all new people in the call. It's not a prerequisite to pass associate level exam first and then go for professional. You can go straight to professional. But if you want to kind of softly enter, if you are a complete newbie, you are not a professional in any cloud, it makes perfect sense to begin with the associate level certification. This is just what I want to add from my side as a summary of Dan's talk. There's much more to it. It's worth spending this two plus hours on this video. Yeah, that's it from me.
I just posted in Slack the links to the both videos, one with only Dan's presentation if you like to skip all the other stuff, and one with the full event, so you can choose which one you like.
Linda, can you please post it also in this chat here?
It is here.
Oh yeah,
I did in both. Actually, I did both places.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
And is other people who already certified in here who can share their experience?
Yeah. Do we have people who pass this professional level certification?
Yes, not the professional, but I've asked a lot of people because I'm preparing for it too.
Oh, you
so I
decided
can
to
share.
prepare. Great, great.
Yeah, I've started preparing for it too, so I can share what I've heard from other people. So as far as the people I've spoken to, they said that the content is a lot smaller and more niche than the associate cloud engineer. Just like what you said, Karen, the content is mainly scenario based, and a lot of questions are about actual architectural solutions. A lot of the advice I got is to reread all the scenario bits, even from the associate cloud engineering book, because a few of those are built on in the actual professional cloud exam. Something else that I heard is that the professional cloud takes a lot of the topics don't vary too much, but the scenarios are quite a wide range. And so what I've heard online is there's some sort of like 30-day challenge thing that people are doing. I've had a look at it, and it's literally kind of cloud solutions of how people migrated different companies to cloud. I've got it around somewhere, so I can share that with you guys on the chat too. And so it's supposed to give you practice about how to design the architectural solutions before you go into the exam as well.
That's perfect, Sandy. Thank you for sharing. Can you paste the link here?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a link. I have the actual PDF, so I'll share the PDF.
Or then,
Maybe if there are resources, can we share everything in our channel, study channel, in this way? Because if we everything we share here in the chat is good for now, but after we get lost. So if you can share it in Slack, it would be great.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, I think both ways would be great, because people are right now in this call, and I'm not sure that everyone is in the Slack right now. But to catch up later on, it's better to check the Slack, two Slack channels for the exams.
I've pasted the challenge, the 30 days of GCP cases, on the PCA exam page chat on Slack.
Lovely. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I think it didn't go through too well. It's only got the front page. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's only the front page.
So it's a hashtag, it's not a website.
Sorry?
It's a hashtag, 30 days of GCP.
Yeah, I think it didn't go through fully. Let me redo that one.
And while she's doing that, anybody else who certified either of the exams?
Karen, I took exam in the last month of October, so I cleared it in the second attempt only. But what I came to understand is it's one of the toughest exam I faced so far, where you really need a hands-on when it comes to console or either with the Gcloud command. You need to be very sure, like if the would be like if what would be the command for creating the bucket in Gcloud. Say for example, if you are running the purport command in the Cloud Shell, right, then only we'll be getting the output. So similar sort of thing is being expected in the exam. Say for example, you have an option like 2 from Gcloud commands and 2 from the front end, that is console. So we need to make sure we have both good hands-on on both, so that we can able to identify the wrong answers. So this is from my experience, Karen.
Okay, Momo, thank you very much. You seem to have very cool environment there, like a kind of party going on. I wish I could join you. I don't know. It was not very clear what you said, but I got partially like parts of your message. It's very nice. If you could join our PCA preparation channel in the Slack, and maybe just be there for people if they have any questions. What I also heard from your speech right now, that there are actually some questions to the Gcloud command line commands. actually, what is interesting. So you have to prepare them as well. Maybe not as hardcore as with the associate level, but still, you know.
For everybody in chat who asked for sending emails, all the resources are shared with you in Slack, so it's not necessary to post your email because you have everything there in Slack plus our documents shared with everybody. Everything is public for everybody.
Yeah. Don't share your private information anyway. And if you have any question, throw it at our Slack with 1,600 registered members in the Slack alone. And I bet you will get all sorts of answers. So yeah, and this way you will stay in touch, because this is like what we have today right now. It's just one session. But in the Slack, you will be in touch with people all the time, even at night, because we have people like in different time zones.
Another thing, it's very difficult to handle emails to send to everybody. It's easier to have it public, free there. You can use it at your own pace. I think it's a better deal for everybody.
Okay, maybe just a couple of ideas how to prepare, like what would be the strategy in general to prepare. I don't know if anyone wants to share. I will just add one sentence here. We have a campaign going on with Quick Labs, which is kind of coined especially for the preparation for these exams. In the description of this event, which you just joined on the on the Meetup page, you will have the link for this 30% ACE discount. It is the same link you can use. It's actually providing different paths, different tracks to prepare for different kinds of exams. I just pasted it here in the chat. You can open it. Once you put down your data, you see 3 tracks there. One is Associate Cloud Engineer. Maybe let me real quick share my screen now, so we are on the same page. Okay.
Yeah, it's easier.
Okay, sharing the screen now. Let me know once you see my screen.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, we see your screen.
Okay, great. So I passed it. I inserted this link in the chat right now. In the cloud dot with google.com blah 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 certification preparation register. This is I just opened this link here, and you will see here 3 tracks. Choose your path. Or I have to allow somebody in. And we are talking with this 30% discount. You have to choose this one. Basically, you have to just put down your data here, and then you can choose which track you will take or which path. And you see here three exams, 3 preparations for exams. This is the associate one, and these 2 are professional level ones. This is interesting for us in our case, professional cloud architect. And you will get access with this campaign. And attention, people, I think this campaign ends this month. So if you want to take advantage of it, register within until 30th of June. You will have free access to the Plural site, which is a learning platform. It's very much similar to Coursera. Coursera is not available for free right now, but Plural site for this Google preparations is available for free. The content, as far as I know, is exactly the same with Coursera. So you will be able to do your stuff and prepare for one of your paths of your tracks here using the Plural site. This is a very much foundational strategy how to prepare. You can add on top of it stuff from practice. You can get additional information, but it will be your backbone to prepare. And Quick Labs, you will also have access to Quick Labs, which is an amazing platform for hands-on preparation of your of yourself, for the exams. You will be able to play around with the platform, solve different labs, get on the way like some badges as well for yourself. So these two tools are already pretty amazing. You can add additionally to this one different kinds of courses, plus this video from Dan Sullivan or whatever you want. Just ask questions in the Slack as well. Do we have different opinions on it? Is there any better advice from our experienced members how to generally prepare for this kind of certifications?
Maybe I can shed some light. So the certification I passed about almost a month ago now. And the way I prepared for it, like you said, is the Plural Site course, which I think is the same as the Coursera one. And then I did the online Udemy course by Dan Sullivan, which was on a free offer at the time. I would definitely recommend adding, Linda and the team on LinkedIn, as well as Dan and Satish and a couple of other people, because they are a great resource on just reposting and sharing what opportunities there are. And then in addition to that, I went ahead and did the practice test that's available for all Google Cloud exams. It's available online, one for each exam. It doesn't change, it's exactly the same one, but it gives you a good overview of what the exam will be like. Yesterday, I created a YouTube channel and I've started going through all the content as simplified as I can get it. I'm a part-time tutor for kids for GCSEs and A-levels. So with my teaching, it's very much simplified and to the point. I'm hoping that it can help a couple of you if you are preparing for your associate cloud. Do have a look at that and, ask questions in the comments, and I'll do my very best to get back to you and help you out as well. And, just make sure that you use all the resources, and definitely, like Karen just said, quick labs are really, really needed, especially if you're not working with Google Cloud every single day as part of your job. You do need that hands-on experience for the exam.
Thank you very much, Sandy. Sandy is one of our members of different communities, but also GDG Cloud Nuremberg. And she just launched her YouTube channel for the preparation for exams and in general, about Google Cloud community platform. Sandy, you can post the link to your YouTube channel. She even called Google Cloud for Dummies or something like this, I think, was really funny.
Yeah, because when I started, I was clueless. I was like, what? What's this topic? So I thought, maybe a lot of other people are in the same situation where they haven't really started it, as part of their jobs or are starting up. So it would be good to know from the basics, as if I were explaining it to people who've got no background in Google Cloud.
Okay.
I also invited somebody to this talk, friends from Brazil. On LinkedIn, I learned, I think I'm pronouncing his name, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Maurizio and Samuel. They wanted to share their experience. They just passed it, I think, this week or last week. Guys, Maurizio, are you there?
Hey.
Maurizio,
yes,
please be there.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
So,
how are you?
You can give some tips for the people who want to do the same what you did. And your friend, Samuel, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, hello guys, I'm here too.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, we've been studying for the last 30 days. We've been doing the courses on Coursera. We did all the courses that covers on the ACE exam, and we also did the course from Dan Sullivan, and we did a lot of quests. We put the hands-on, and we did a lot of quests, because with these questions you get a better understanding of the scenarios that you face on the exam, because it's very scenario based. So if you take a lot of questions and you do everything that you can possibly do, it's very likely that you will pass on the exam. So I think that's the best thing you can do is practice all the time.
That's beautiful. Any other tips? That means we should stop talking, start working.
Adding to this, we can use Linux Academy AC course, which is quite near a bit closer to the exam concepts related to it. So Linux Academy is also is a good thing. So I followed it.
I couldn't hear you. Did you say Linux Academy?
Yes, yes, I said Linux Academy.
They are test or they are course?
Course. It has an exam as well in it at the end of the course. You have a sample exam.
Okay, my turn up as it was very long, but I guess you need time to study.
So yeah, I would like to add in this. So Linux Academy, so most people prefer that because they have, along with their course, they have exam, and plus they have their document, which is very important because I remember I basically studied from that. Their document, which I don't remember, they call it as some chart. So that document is very, very important because they cover all the aspects related to the exam, including your case studies, which are covered as a part of your professional exams, like Terraform and sorry, not Terraform. I don't remember the exact names of those case studies, but yes, they cover a lot. And that is the basics. Miss, we can, if we want to start, we can start with that document, and we can put our own thoughts as part of preparation for exams. So I would really like to suggest, because that was really great help when I prepared for professional data engineer exam.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing, Supriya.
Great. So we still have about 25 minutes left. Do we want to go through flashcards for professional architect, or maybe just chat more and share the experiences of maybe people who were past or who are right now heavily preparing themselves? Like, what is the strategy there? What do you think?
Actually, point to add for G-Cloud commands, right? There is a syntax which needs, there is some verbal syntax which is there. If you follow it, you can able to easily figure out the commands, which one is the wrong and the right answer. So it has a syntax for something like, let's say, start with G-Cloud, then followed by a service name, followed by an action, then comes up with the create, describe, delete, so on. So if you go on deep in on seeing each command, right, probably can figure it out how the G-Cloud command syntax work, and it's easy for you while figuring out wrong options in the examination.
Sometimes it's very difficult to understand. I didn't really understand. I don't know if anyone.
Yeah, Momo, something is a little bit wrong with your audio. You know, you're not very audible. Maybe you can fix your mic until the next time. It seems like you changed location from a party location to a kind of quiet one, but it's really nice. But still something like wrong with the audio.
No, it was the fan which was going around. I just stopped it. Nothing else.
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Cool.
Guys, one more tip that I can maybe be helpful. Try to understand the Kubernetes part on the GCP, because there are a lot of tricky questions where they ask something like, how can you do a deploy with a config file, something, and they will always give you like 3 very similar answers, and they will change 1 or 2 keywords, and those keywords will be the most important thing to remember, because at least on my exam, I have like 8 or 10 questions about Kubernetes, and The last 3-4 days before the exam, we did a lot of labs on the Kubernetes because we knew that this probably will be a very great topic on the exam. So another tip is that try to take a look on the Kubernetes part. Try to learn the key words that you will use when you are doing a deploy or when you are doing something like updating something, resizing a cluster. This kind of things. These are the keywords that you need to be very familiar and know when and how to use it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mauricio. I think it's an amazing tip. Sophia, do you want to add?
Yeah, I want to add one thing. I got the document. Can I share my screen? Is there any option?
You can. You don't have to present now.
It's called Present Now if you're on desktop on the right bottom corner.
Yeah, just a minute. Actually, my battery is draining. Yeah.
So there was a question in meantime that Supriya can get her presentation. There was a question in the chat saying that I don't have prior experience to any programming language, which one is necessary in order to pursue the associate Google Cloud. So I totally echo Sandy's message. You don't need any prior coding experience, especially if you are an architect. If you are a DevOps or something else, you might need. And also, you will have only to remember which languages are useful when using the Google Cloud resources and things like this. Usually, when you do the code labs, you are provided already with some snippets of code in order to be able to practice that code labs, but you don't really need prior coding.
Before she starts, like, you're completely correct about the exam, but we are not here just to pass the exam, but to contribute in IT afterwards. So my recommendation for people net new to IT world and certification is get familiar with shell scripts. I recommend bash scripts, basic Linux commands, because you're going to be using Google command line tools with that. And then if you are choosing languages, I find the Python community to be very nice, welcoming, and Python is becoming glue, like shell script of the cloud, the gluing stuff. So that would be my recommendation. Linux and
I agree with Daniel. So yes, but if you don't have that experience, don't get scared and think that you cannot go ahead.
This is past exam. We're going forward after the exam. What you want to do in life?
Exactly. So Supriya, did you manage to make your presentation work?
I have presented my screen. Can you see?
I don't see it. Is anybody else seeing Supriya's screen?
No, Supriya, try again.
No, not yet.
Try again. No. And you have to choose window or screen or something.
Yeah, the share button is disabled.
Really?
Try to refresh your page. It will kick you out, and after you can go in again if it's disabled. Something.
Okay, I am getting present. Which option? Yours entire screen, window, or Chrome tab? Which should I select? Which one?
Go for entire screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I did, and it's not. Yeah, now
I think
it
you
is.
have to click on this
Can you see my
option and then share. You should click on this entire screen option and then
share.
share.
Yeah, I have shared. Can you see this document?
Yeah, now it's coming.
Yeah,
okay, so something goes in there. Perfect.
Oh, lovely. We're listening.
Yeah, so this is a Lucid Chart Cloud Architect document, which is of Linux Academy. And this covers all the important, you can say it's like short notes for the exam. So even I referred when this is for professional cloud architect exam. And I referred, so for every exam they have such a document, Lucid Chart. So it starts with your Miss, I think from the next session we can go with this documentation so that everybody can start understanding those concepts. So let me see how this document is. It starts with what is the role of Google Cloud Architect and why it is important. So this is a PDF, but they have a proper link. If anybody has the Linux Academy credentials, he can share that link. I have not enrolled, but this is the document which one of my friend shared when she was preparing for this exam. So this covers entire thing. So if you see cloud, it starts with course introduction, then resource manager. So in resource manager management,
So Priya, since you already have it, and you're not a member, like, is it okay to, I don't know, like, I don't want to push you into doing something, but is it okay to upload it in the Slack channel, or we should join, like, how did you get it? Is it okay to share it further? Or
no, Daniel, everyone will buy the course. Don't ask it.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know.
actually, they have a 7 days free trial. If you enroll for that, you will get get access to this particular course. And once you get access, you on the right side you can find they have their flashcards also. Plus, they have this Linux what you call as Lucid chart document, wherein you can find all the quick notes, and this is what the author Matthew is the name of the author of this Linux Academy course. He is referring this document only. So very good document, and for quick practicing, I really recommend. So it has covered all. Why I am not trying to share. If you want, I can share this document, but this is very old, nearly you can say 1.5 years old document. So and everybody Google Cloud, not only just Google Cloud, every cloud is adding more and more updates. So this document may not be updated. So anybody, if having access to this particular Cloud Academy course, or Karen or Linda, if you can manage something, then we can get a link, or at least we can get this document by which we can
I guess everybody can enroll for the 7 free days and get it on their own at this time. I cannot do that for legal reasons.
Yeah.
I cannot do that.
Yeah. So as I suggested, everybody, if you want to enroll, you can go ahead with 7 days free trial. And these are the case studies which I was talking about. Yes, this is Teram Earth. I was Teram Earth dress for win Mount Kit games and all that. So he has explained all the means how to so case study is nothing but like a big paragraph, and he also explains how we should extract the main points and main theme from that complete paragraph, and try to understand what are the goals, what they want to achieve, what exactly they want in their solution. So this we can compare with the questions which they have asked, and choose the correct answer based on that. So this is what I really recommend.
Yeah. I just see in the chat post, somebody posted to the live document that you're sharing, which is beautiful. So it means it's publicly available. So Interactive Linux Academy.
Actually, there are people saying that the link is broken, so might be that you really have to
I didn't see it. That's funny. I see it in my browser. Works for me. But I used to have access to Linux Academy. So another tip beyond the exam, like when I worked with a professional Amazon partner, like a Cloud Guru tests were good to get you certified, but for the real work, when you get stuck, it was Linux Academy courses that helped you get unstuck. So I fully hear you and will jump on this Linux Academy Superior. And so the problem with Linux Academy is it was purchased by the competitor iCloud Guru, who got afraid they're going to get taken over, so it may be a little rusty. But it's most comprehensive source of information for any cloud, at least for AWS and GCP until 2019. So, over.
Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to share is Google Cloud architectures for solution architecture. So I don't remember the link, but they have a solution architecture for every what do you say, domain. Like if you say retail domain, so what should they prefer? I don't know. Yeah, so this is the gcp.solutions. So they have all the architectures. So as part of professional PCA, you need to know. So if your company wants to migrate, so they have segmented these documents, these architectures in different sections. Like if you will see infrastructure modernization, data management, then app development. So if I go through the, I just click on this. Let's go ahead with migrations. So inside migrations, so suppose if you want to migrate your Postgres to GCP, so it shares. So what should we do? So this will scenarios actually and will help you understand what are the different case studies that can be achieved as part of professional cloud architect. And if you want to achieve those, so for example, if I consider a migration scenario, and in my case, suppose Postgres to GCP, so how should be the my architecture? So this is the current environment, and as compared to that, how I should build the same scenario in GCP. And this is just a diagram. If you will see, this is just a diagram, but the complete article you can find in this solutions page. Or get started. Let me click. So somewhere I found. Yeah. So if you will search this, you will find this article which explain this diagram, means how to convert, means how to migrate your Postgre to this particular GCP environment. So these cases will be more helpful for those who are preparing for PC exam. Hello.
Great resources you shared with us.
So I am sharing this link.
Supriya, isn't it what you were looking for? Because we talked to each other before, and you said we would need something with typical use cases for different architectures.
Yeah. So this, yeah, actually, these are, if you will see, they have covered very few scenarios like DB2 on GCP, Postgres. What if I have some other database which is not mentioned here, or I have typical different scenario which is not covered as part of this. So this is what the migration, so what could be the approach which we should follow, that I was talking about.
Okay, very nice.
This is lovely. Thumbs up for Linux Academy. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, sure.
And then, is there anybody who failed but kind of would like to share how, what would they do next time? Linda shared it last time, but it's not
I failed successfully.
You can learn from that as well.
Let's see who is in my side failing successfully. I think that's why we are here, because 1 month ago I was asking Karen, let's start to learn together, because alone I got lost. I didn't want to. I was so depressed. I says, I don't try it anymore. And I says, Karen, do you want to start to learn together? I says, yes, why not? So after we drag all of these people.
That's why I like this group. That's how I joined you guys, because it's very uncommon that people share their failures. Everybody's successful. Look at me. Just look at social media profiles. So thank you for opening up. Anybody else who can add to?
Don't feel scared. It was careful for me.
Recording is the problem, I think.
Yeah.
No, recording for now.
After the session, maybe someone will come up, but it's okay. So we still got 8 minutes till the end of the call, and I want to thank everyone who stayed until the end of the call. I will share with you 6 different courses, which are not necessarily helpful, like exactly for this, for this preparation, but partially, because there are Docker for beginners, for example, Linux for absolute beginners, developer guide to Python 3. It's not actually sharing the whole thing, because
There's a limitation, I think. There's a limitation how much, yeah.
Yeah, I will insert the second part as well separately. So there are all free for now, as they should be. Maybe if there are too many of us, maybe they will quickly expire. I don't know, but I think they are timely limited. Maybe they will be expiring within the next few days.
So hurry up and get the courses.
Yeah, I think we will do something like this at every of our session, study group session. We will share some goodies. If you are in GDG Cloud Nuremberg Slack, you probably got all of them within the last days, because we have a constant flow of amazing stuff, in our Slack. But if you are new to it, here they are in the chat.
And as beautiful these courses are, their distraction. They can get us our focus away from Spotify.
But they are free now. It's timely limited. You can grab them, you can enroll, but you shouldn't begin studying them as of now. Maybe just I have several thousands of those courses, and I only study like a small fraction of them.
I like to enroll in them and then just leave them until I finish what I'm doing now.
I wait until Elon Musk will implement this, interface to the brain, where I can just download the courses and get it done.
Oh, that reminds me of actually something that I wanted to share, a little tip, whatever exam we're doing. It's not so much as a tip as it is a reminder. A lot of the cases of people who failed and had to redo the exam come from just copying and pasting on Quick Labs. It feels great to get the badges and the quests completed, and that is, I'm there for the quests and I'm loving collecting my badges. But I think we get carried a little by the timer, and we're just worried that we're not going to finish it on time, and we end up copying and pasting, getting it done, but not really knowing what we've done. And I'm guilty of that for the first couple of quests. But if you are having a go at Quick Labs, just make sure that you know exactly what you're copying and pasting before you do so.
Actually, what I do when I go through Quick Labs, first I open the Quick Lab, I go to read everything. They have even links that you can go to read the additional documentation. And after I understood what I'm supposed to do, I will start to do it. So I think if you really want to have a full experience, you should definitely go to read it before you start. In this way, you are not stressed out by the clock that you have there ticking. Meanwhile, you do the quick labs. So this is my own experience, but everybody has their own.
Yeah, I can also add to it that Satish from our first session and also Dan, I think, they mentioned it, that it makes no sense just to learn by heart these dumps which are available all over the internet, you know, of these exams. For several reasons, because you're not getting the knowledge, you're just learning the stuff, how they are put it together. And secondly, Google is really, really good at shuffling the questions, at constantly changing them. They have a algorithm going on, and you can believe Google, they have algorithms to evaluate how successful the questions are, how up-to-date they are. Maybe if everybody, I don't know how they even evaluate it, but they have stuff going on the background. So it's and the target is the only one, is to test your actual knowledge, and this is what you have to concentrate on. We can go through all sorts of flashcards, but it makes no sense to learn by heart the answers. We have to really understand what's meant behind these questions. And sorry, I think somebody wanted to add something.
No. It was a mistake in my end.
I was going to say about the quick labs. I definitely tell people the quick labs, you get out of them what you put in them. So, you know, the first time I'll kind of just blow through them. The second time I go back through them, I will spend more time. And then the third time I try to do them without looking at their steps. And then they also have the challenge labs. The challenge labs they don't even give you the steps. And I think those are like the best. And I think learning on Quick Labs is like the best thing around for learning. I have a subscription to Linux Academy and the Udemy. The nice thing about both of those are you can watch them on an Apple TV, but you're watching the Quick Labs you're actually doing. You know?
Definitely. I actually did Quick Labs. I went to do it 2-3 times. So taking it one time and take the badge, that will not really help you for the final exam. So definitely, even reading the book, I read it twice, and the courses, video courses, if you can go minimum 3 times, you will see that you start to remember things and start to be easier to understand, because it's a whole new language that you have to learn. It's like so you have to get used with the terms that they use in order to connect everything together. So. If anyone else wants to add?
Everyone, I think we just got 1 more minute until the end of the call. I want at first thank everyone for being together with us. You are amazing. For the time in between, join the Slack. You got it posted several times. This session is being recorded, and it will be shared. The whole recording, 2 hours, will be shared on our YouTube channel of GDG Cloud Nuremberg. I'm posting here the link to the channel. You can go and subscribe now there. And within the next couple of days, we will be posting this video of the session, as we will be doing for the next sessions as well.
Cool.
Yeah. And
I just need one more link before you go. It's for Austin GCP playlist. This is our friend Santosh. So he just finished. I went through 60 videos of his for ACE exam. I read on LinkedIn that he just finished the playlist for PCA exam. And I understand, following him on social media, the next will be data engineering exam. So his way of teaching worked for my brain.
Yeah, let's share it even in our shared document, in our shared documents with everybody, so we don't lose it. I think it's already there.
Before. Yeah, this is the newcomers. So we keep talking. It's also GCP playlist.
Yeah.
Where he goes through the reasoning about answers.
So I want to thank everyone for being here today, and special thanks to Karina for staying for the whole session. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karina.
Yeah.
Thank you for organizing a very
Okay.
and your contributions. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
And by this, yeah, goodbye, everyone. See you next time.
See you
Take
next
care.
time.
Bye.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
See you, everyone. Good luck.
Bye. Good luck.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, Karen, Brijesh here.
Hey, man, where have you been all the time?
I was there, but I was in silent. I actually posted
Karen,
my question.
Can you stop the recording?
Recording, right. Now the confidential part starts, right?
Time.